Sorry, it's been a few days, so here's another technique. It's called creating a safe, calm place. So what you want to do with this technique is you're going to build in your mind a space that feels essentially safe and really calm. Back to some of the other videos when I talked about, you want to create a sense of distance. So when we have very intense, overwhelming emotions, or we feel like our emotional state is kind of taking over, there's a technique in our, with our psyche, that we can kind of hijack, where we create the space and distance between how we're feeling and just like ourself. So again, kind of from, I forget what video it was, maybe the first or second one, where you acknowledge like who's the I, who's the person thinking the thoughts. You're kind of doing that with this visualization technique. So a safe, calm place is anything, anywhere in the world, or like get as creative as you possibly can, because that's going to help you just feel like the goal is kind of to make yourself feel isolated from what you're feeling or what's going on. But it's not like an isolated like in a negative way, it's an isolated in a positive. So you want to visualize something in your mind that makes you feel super, super safe. So I'll go through some common ones that I've worked with people before, just to kind of give you an idea. And again, get as creative as you possibly can, because it's going to help create probably a deeper sense of calm the more you ground it in for yourself, something that's more personal. Really common one is the beach. So people will visualize and see themselves sitting on the beach, feel the waves coming in, hear like seagulls, hear the waves, maybe seeing yourself isolated and alone on this beach. You want to create any scene that will hijack all your senses as well. Another common one is the forest. So seeing yourself sitting in a forest or surrounded by trees, there's nothing around you, there's nothing going on. Creating maybe like the trees or a wall or a bubble, keeping anything from getting to you, anything that's been too overwhelming or too intense. Get as creative. So other ones that I've gone with people is visualizing like a totally different planet. You're sitting on a different planet, or maybe you're on an island. Maybe you're out in outer space. You are disconnected from whatever's going on that's creating the intense emotions. And when you're in these spaces, you can even enhance it by visualizing there's a bubble around you. Nothing can get into that bubble. Anything that's been overwhelming has to leave and go outside of you. So if you're visualizing like the forest, whatever's been overwhelming is outside of that forest. Whatever is feeling super anxiety provoking, like I know there's a lot going on. So if we were to take real world situation like what everybody's experiencing right now, if you're in the combat area, this will be a space that you build in your mind as like kind of a mental room or a wall that gets thrown up between you and the situation. You can mentally put yourself somewhere else to create the sense of safety. This is a kind of a little bit of I can't say it, compartmentalization technique used in trauma therapy, but it can also be implemented in this kind of situation, especially with what's going on, to create, like I said, that space of distance. So hopefully this will work. If you have any questions, please reach out. This one's really simple, but you're just using your imagination and creating distance and making sure that whatever feels really intense or really emotional is outside of the space that you build. And then whatever the emotion is that you want to feel, like calm, safety, security, that's what's within your visualization space.